There are limits to urban mobility, and increasingly we are reaching those limits. We cannot simply expand the amount of space available in our cities, and yet, if a city is to be worth living in, people need to remain mobile. In the future, even more people will be moving to the city, so we need to learn to make more efficient use of the available space. This is a challenge that every city must face up to. But how are we going to master this challenge? To answer this question, let's leave the present day and spend some time with typical city dwellers of the future in the year 2030. Here's a working mom who lives with her family on the edge of town. She normally takes an express bus to work, but today she wants to pick up some shopping on the way home, so she takes the family van. She checks the state of the roads over breakfast. There are no roadworks to worry about today, but her trip manager recommends she leave a little later because the rush hour traffic won't have eased until 8:30. Here's Grandma, a pensioner on her way to visit a friend. Having her own two-seater makes life so much easier for her. It's small and agile and comes with all the driver assistance systems and practical aids that she needs. Later on, she's arranged to meet her grandson. She's no longer as fit as she used to be, but this way she can still enjoy safe mobility with her own trusty car. After taking the call from his grandma, our student gets ready for college. His roommate reminds him to be back in good time as they're moving to a new apartment that afternoon. A real-time traffic check shows him that the bus is the best option right now. It arrives on time and there's plenty of space. In fact, the range of urban transport options has really grown. Bikes, for example, are more popular than ever for short and medium-length trips. To save big buses running empty at off-peak periods, there's a practical dial-a-minibus service. You can even fix a time for it to pick you up at the door. The efficient network of transport options also helps the delivery vans that supply the city and its inhabitants with goods. Thanks to car-to-car and car-to-infrastructure communications, Mom's car gets all the traffic news it needs from other road users and supplies them with data at the same time. Mom has taken the urban motorway and opted to travel within an automated cluster of vehicles. This way, she can use the time to check her appointments, read a cost estimate, and use the phone in safety, while all around her the traffic flows far more smoothly than it used to. With ideal gaps maintained between vehicles, the frustration of stop-and-go traffic is a thing of the past. Because when it comes to keeping traffic flowing smoothly and making best use of the road, the gaps between the vehicles are much more important than the actual length of the vehicles themselves. Constantly in the picture, her van pilots her intelligently across the city. At the pickup point, her passengers are waiting. More and more people give one another lifts or benefit from carpooling arrangements, particularly at rush hour when buses and trains are often packed. The decreasing number of cars on the roads makes for a smoother flow of traffic. Grandma has set her two-seater to autopilot. When the lights turn green, the cars move off automatically, staying a minimum distance apart so that no gaps occur, and the green light is put to best use. Our student is on the bus. The bus has triggered an automatic emergency stop and instantly informs nearby vehicles of the danger ahead. Their driver assistance systems react accordingly. Mom and her colleagues arrive at work. Thanks to the automated parking system, they can all get out at the main gate. The car knows exactly where the vacant parking slots are located and handles the parking process by itself. Today, Mom opts to make the van available for short-term car sharing. She doesn't need it until 5 p.m., so in the meantime, it can earn some money. Grandma had her doubts at first, but now she's thrilled about her clever little car. Driver assistance systems, autopilot, all those things she could never even dream of having in the past. Parking is a lot easier too. Her friend lives in a popular suburb not far from the city center. You can't park right outside, but while they are still en route, the car starts looking for a vacant slot nearby. Its database is constantly being updated by other vehicles that report on the parking situation as they park, or depart, or simply drive by. At the parking space itself, the cars communicate with each other and work together in cooperative parking mode. The urban landscape now features additional innovative systems that help make best use of the available space. One such system is the microcity, a location where various modes of transport come together, accompanied by a variety of service offerings for urban society. Dad called up a dial-a-bus to take him to the microcity, where he joined a friend at the gym, then had some lunch. Now he's doing a bit of shopping. There's something his daughter is sure to like. Dad asks for this item and his other purchases to be stored for him in a microcity locker. He lets his wife know she can pick up the shopping from the microcity on her way home. One less trip for the delivery van to make. The students call up the car-sharing database and book the ideal van for their move. They've chosen a quiet period and travel smoothly across the city. Now there's nothing between them and the quick, efficient delivery of their furniture. Or is there? The van communicates with the traffic lights at the next crossroads and learns when the next green light is. It adapts its speed so that it doesn't have to wait unnecessarily. As there are no vehicles behind the van, the lights switch straight back to red, enabling the cross traffic to flow smoothly instead of having to brake. Of course, congestion still happens. Roadworks will remain part of the everyday scene in our towns and cities. The important thing here is to make sensible use of the available space to avoid obstructing the traffic more than necessary. In this case, instead of closing one lane completely, 2 lanes have been narrowed. Past investments in transport infrastructure and technology are now paying dividends. It's not just cars that are equipped with smart technology, but roadworks equipment and traffic lights as well, and they communicate with one another. Armed with all this data and fitted with automatic forward and lateral guidance systems, vehicles negotiate roadworks safely and efficiently. The students have reached their destination with no problems and with time to spare. All they need now is a vacant parking slot outside the door to get the unloading done. On her way home, Mom drops a colleague off at the station. She stops off at the microcity locker. The shopping is automatically loaded into the van. And there's a parcel for her neighbor that she happily takes along. Over supper, the family discuss their day and decide to go to the zoo together on the weekend. What better way to spend the money that the family van earned last month through the car-sharing scheme? In the future too, large numbers of people in transit will need to share a limited space. There's no universal recipe for success here, but for the typical city dwellers we've met so far, there are many different approaches that we can sum up in 9 core statements. Cars that are made to measure will complement traditional universal models. With a wide range of different vehicles at their disposal, people will only use what they actually need. Vehicles and infrastructure will be intelligent and networked. As a result, cars will be better informed and better placed to help the driver. Automated driving will form a natural part of urban mobility. The underlying technology will enhance both stationary and moving traffic and keep us mobile with greater safety and less stress. More people will share a car. Over the day as a whole, cars will be idle for much less time, and more effective use will be made on the limited number of parking spaces. More people will give one another lifts. Modern information technology and mobile devices will link up drivers and potential passengers fast and simply. With more seats filled and fewer cars on the road, rush hour traffic will flow more smoothly. New logistics concepts will create synergies between passenger and goods transport, helping avoid unnecessary trips. Innovative systems like the microcity will help integrate urban planning and transport. Many different traffic flows and services for urban society will be concentrated and efficiently handled at these urban hubs. People will be pragmatic about using attractive intermodal and multimodal transport options. Instead of insisting on a specific means of transport, they will use whatever makes most sense in their particular situation. Everyone who is traveling will be kept reliably up to date with developments. That way, they can choose the best possible options. Grandma finds her grandson and his friends waiting for her. And what a surprise! She's brought along a snack to restore their strength after their strenuous move. And she can't wait to tell them all about her trip across town in her clever car. Attractive cities that make great places to live will remain as essential as ever, places where, despite the lack of space, people surrender none of their mobility. These solutions are designed to ensure that our customers reach their destinations in the best possible way, while at the same time, traffic flows become more efficient.